The the only time body count matters. So like and share this episode. So, there's a lot of talk about where, about body count and how it affects women, and then they start talking about body counts when it comes to guys, and people are kind of all over the place, when it comes to this. And there's some things that can be overcome. But I would say sometimes it just depends on the person who you're dealing with. Now, I'm not talking about any woman that's outrageous with it. I'm talking about the average woman here. I'm not talking about a porn star or some girl that got the OnlyFans thing popping. I'm not talking about them types. That's a certain type of mindset that would do something like that and be seen on public forums, videos, on the video on the shelf, or today the videos online, and they're performing in the video like sometimes it looks like they even like it, even though they say it's acting. You can say, well, some of these girls are not good actors, whatever. But there's a certain type of a woman, that does that. Just like being a stripper, there's a certain type. That's not a regular type of female that would engage in activities like that. That's not regular. That's not something that's regular. So we got to put things into context. You don't have average women on the pole. You don't have average women in adult entertainment. So when I speak, I'm talking about the average woman in North America. I'm not talking about the prostitute, the street hoe, or I'm not even talking about the girl that turned tricks every once in a while, or turn tricks on the weekends if her money is short. I'm not even talking about her. But almost anything you can overcome. You can change. A woman can change. I know there's some guys will say, well, man, once she been ran through, it's over. That's not always true. If people want to change bad enough, they'll find a way. I've met some people that I thought at the time they were gone forever. Mentally, physically. And they did like a 360. Not a 180, a 360. So it's possible. But I tell you one thing. I think I was like 25. I met this woman. She was an older woman at the time. And you know, I don't even remember how I met her. I think I might have met her off maybe Plenty of Fish at the time. And she was like 40, I think she was about 40, 45, somewhere, early 40s, somewhere in between there. And at the time, you know, she kind of stayed probably 40 minutes away from me at the time. And to me, that's far, especially at nighttime. Because you got to think about it. This is during the time where I was drinking and partying all the time. So I didn't really like driving 40 minutes to an hour away after I done took mad shots, had a couple beers. At nighttime, that's, I don't want to get no DUI. So this is during that time frame. So she invited me over to her house on this particular night, and it's already late. It's already after, I think it was after 12. It was after 12 when I got to her house. I remember that for a fact. This was a while ago. And the reason why I tell this story is because this is the first time I had this type of experience. And it's the first time I had this experience. And I didn't really know how to handle it at the time. So she invited me over. I got to her house after 12, after midnight. And everything was cool. Like I said, she was an older woman. And we had a good vibe going on and everything. We got along. And even when I got to her house, it was more drinks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I was already drinking before I even got there. So I'm feeling good or whatever, and I'm thinking she just got off work. And so she jumps in the shower, and I'm sitting there. I'm still drinking drinking more beer, looking at TV or whatever. So she's in there freshening up or whatever, And she's not a bad looking. She's a good looking woman. If you saw her, you think, oh, okay, she's she's still in the 30s or whatever. Maybe early 30s, you would say. So, she gets out the shower. She put on some lingerie, and she sat down, started drinking beer with me, and we started just chit-chatting, just talking about nothing really. And so she jumped on top of me. So basically she got up on, because we're sitting down on a chair, so she threw her legs on top of me and got on top of me while I was sitting down. I think you could picture this in your mind, how this went down. And which was cool. I ain't had a problem with that. And we started kissing and everything. And so I told her, hey, let's just go in the room, right? So we go in the room and things kind of take off or whatever. And she started doing the do. And I was feeling good. I have to admit, I was feeling good. She did a good job when she went down on her brother, right? So, after about, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes of that, I took all her lingerie off, and I grabbed my condom, I put it on, and I remember this was like yesterday, because this is the first time it happened. So I'm like, I'm the type of guy, I like to see everything. She was actually, she's the type, she told me to turn the light off. I'm like, oh, no. I like to see everything. I ain't one of those people that like to turn the light off when it's time to get down and dirty. No. I like the lights on. So I told her, no, I like the lights on. So she said, oh, okay, whatever. So, because I like to see what I'm getting into, if you know what I mean, right? So just before I got up in her, I think I paused for a second. And then when I went up in there, man, I fell in that motherfucker. I fell in that motherfucker. I mean, look, I'm not saying, and this is not a good thing. She was loose as a goose, loose as a cannon. I couldn't feel nothing. I didn't feel, the only person that benefited from this experience was her. She was loving it. It seemed like she was the type that liked jamming things up inside her for JJ. Seemed like she was that type. I'm talking like I've never had an experience with a woman like this before. And still, even to this day, I still never had experience like that. I'm talking about she was so loose, I cannot feel nothing. And she was loving it, boy. As a matter of fact, once we were done, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna invite you over again. It was so good. And I'm like, that's nice. I was just like, after it was over, I was like, man, I should have never came here. That's what I was thinking in my mind. So I just ended up going to sleep. I rolled over and went to sleep. And I woke up like early, like 7 or 8 o'clock. Went to the bathroom and washed my face. And I told her I was leaving. I told her I was going to get something to eat, get some breakfast from McDonald's. That was my excuse. And so she was like, oh, okay, we'll talk again soon. And I never saw her again since that day. I think she might have called me 2 times and said something like, hey, you want to come over again? And I was like, nah, I got something to do. I can't make it. Right. And then the last time she called, she was like, I would like to invite you over again, but I don't want it to be a booty call anymore. I want to get to know you and get serious. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I got things to do. I'm kind of busy today. And that was the last time I talked to her, and that's when I came to the conclusion. I don't think you can't, if you're that open as a woman, if a woman is that loose, you can't, I don't think you can come back from that unless you have some type of surgery. Now I heard there's some type of surgery that women can have to tighten up the vajayjay. That's what I was told. I don't know for sure. Maybe if you're a woman listening to this, maybe you can leave the comment below and let us know. But and P.S. and by the way, you might be thinking, hey, you might be a Tiny Tim. No, that's not the case, bruh. That's not the case. No, I ain't no Tiny Tim. You know what I'm saying? But I've been called a lot of things, but I haven't been called that. So just in case any smart guys and gals are thinking he might have a little one, that's why he couldn't. That's why you couldn't feel anything. But she got all the enjoyment. No, that's not the case. But that's why I say the only time body count matters is when you meet a woman and you fall in that motherfucker. You fall in that motherfucker. You know, it's like you there's no pleasure in that. It wasn't for me anyway. For her, yeah. You know, but there's no, it's I mean, I never had another experience like that. You know, now I've heard stories of people that had experience like this, but it just didn't happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's just nothing you can do with a woman that's like that. In my opinion, it's just this is based on my experience. Now, somebody that never had this experience before, they might have a whole nother opinion. But your opinion doesn't really matter because you haven't had the experience. You're just talking. But I'm telling you my experience. And it wasn't fun. And, you know, there's a lot of women out here that like stuffing things in the vajayjay, banana and toys and all kind of shit. And I think that might wear the vajayjay down a little bit, you know. But you know, that's not a good idea to be doing that, you know. In her particular case, I don't know. That probably was the case. I'm not sure. You know, I didn't even bother to ask. But you know, I didn't talk to her anymore. You know, I didn't want to have that experience anymore. And plus, she was trying to get serious. You know, I'm like, oh no, that's even. First off, you're much older than me, and then I had a bad experience. So that's getting serious is out of the question. It's like, come on, you know. And the crazy thing is, she never thought what I'm telling you right now. She never even crossed her mind. She was totally oblivious to what I'm telling you right now. She, in her mind, she thought I had a great time. That's how, and you have people out here that's clueless like this. Men and women are clueless. They're oblivious. They have no idea what the hell's going on in their relationship. And just, you have a lot of people that are just walking around just in the world blind to the facts when it comes to a lot of things. You know, it's crazy. And you might know people that's like this, or you might see people like this when you're out and about. I'll give you an example. I was in the Target parking lot, and I was pulling out to leave, and there was a guy. He got out of his car, and he was on his cell phone texting, and he never looked up to see where he was walking. And he walked out in the driveway in front of me. He never saw me. He walked out into the driveway, walking towards Target towards the door. He never saw me. And there's people walking around, lurking around this world that we live in that are just like that. They're blind bats. They're kind of out of it mentally. They're not really aware of what's going on. you know, when it comes to anything, forget what's going on with them. They don't know how anything works. There's people that's like this. This is a fascinating thing to me, you know, and I'm from a different, sometimes I think I'm from a different world sometimes, because the guys that I grew up around that raised me, they didn't really have the privilege to act like they didn't know what was going on. They don't know what to do. They can't make a decision. They, you know, you're scared. The guys that raised me and I grew up around, they are oblivious. They can't even. If my father, grandparents were living, they would be blown away about how people function today. They would be like, how the fuck why are these people thinking like this or doing this weird old degenerate shit? That's what they would be saying today. You know, if they were to hear some of the stuff people say on the internet about the stuff that women want and what they're attracted to, and the stuff that guys say and what turns them on, I would think if my grandfather and my father was to hear some of this shit they say online, they would be blown the fuck away. Like, what the fuck is going on in America? These guys are weak out here. And these women have lost their minds. That's what they would say in so many words. And they wouldn't be so nice about it though. You know, because I'm raised by men. Like, man, a real man. You know what I'm saying? A man's man. That's who I was raised by, and that's who I grew up around. You know, but today, man, guys are weak, soft, man. You know, and women are not acting like women. Women are acting like a soft version of a man in most cases. Not all women, but the majority, I would say. You know, the ones that aren't taken, you know, and ain't too many, you know, the pickings is slim out here. Things aren't the way it used to be. You know, I can say that because I travel all over the country, you know, but I would say if you're you know, the average type of cat that you just go to work every day and come home, look at TV and put your foot up on the table. If you do that 5 days a week, and you're just happy to see Friday, that guy is especially if you don't have no game, no mouthpiece, you know, he's afraid to approach women, talk to women, bad social skills. That guy is probably he's probably having a hard time out here. Just in general. You know, most of those guys are struggling because they have one income and they haven't figured out how to make more money. And on top of that, they have bad social skills. So even if they want to make more money, they can't because they have bad social skills. There's a good chance if you have bad social skills, it's going to be hard for you to create more opportunities and make more money. Because having good social skills and making more money, that's a key element. They kind of intertwine. Like good leadership, good social skills, good relationships, they all intertwine, they all go together. So if you have bad social skills struggle with relationships, then you have financial problems. It's a recipe for disaster. You know? So, and the probably the worst part about guys today is they don't like the fellowship. They just want to stay online and watch people's videos, and they think they're getting over it because it's free. A lot of people think this is my mentality where, hey, I'll just look at all the free stuff and I'm good. I don't got to do the rest of that shit. That's a loser's mentality. That's they don't like to leave home. They don't like to see nobody in person. They just want to stay online and troll. And there's a mentality today where not just young people. There's people I know that's in their 40s and 50s and even 60s. It's like this. It's like they don't want to be bothered or engage or meet anybody ever. You know what I'm saying? Because in their mind, people are the people that they would meet would be a problem. But I think it's the other way around. They're the problem. That because what happens is a lot of people are shady. And see, shady people are afraid. They don't trust themselves around people. They think that they're gonna, pull a fast one on somebody, and they expect the person to, take it and, don't bother them. But in the real world, don't work like the streets. Don't care nothing but that. And see, we got people online, they're keyboard warriors, but in person, they will never say any of the stuff that they say online. So today you got a bunch of degenerates, and these people are everywhere. They're everywhere. They're in the White House. They're on your job. Your neighbor's a degenerate. They're at the store, at the cash register. They're at the restaurant. These people are everywhere. They're in power positions all across the country. They got government jobs and everything. And they're in the people. This is why you have such a hard time getting anything done most of the time, because the person you're dealing with is a degenerate. That's what it is. That's what it is. There's some things that you can overcome, but some things, in my opinion, you can't. Maybe you can adapt, but hey, So that's all I got. So in my opinion, the only time body count matters is if you fall in that motherfucker. I'm out. Peace.